some of my homemade exercise equipment. Alright, first of all, you got your dips bars. This is the first thing I made. This is 1.25 inches. If I was going to do it again, I'd make them out of 1.5 inches. Now I filled these with concrete and glued them up with PVC glue. I don't think the concrete was necessary. It made them stronger, but didn't really, it made them heavier, but not really stronger. You can see. Really everything is about this bottom T. That's why I'd recommend 1.5 inches instead of 1.25 inches. And another thing I would do differently is I would put one crossbar. That way you could still be able to put your legs out on one direction, but you'd have a little more of this lateral stability. So if I did them again, I'd make them out 1.5 inches, and I'd use one crossbar. But as far as straight dips, or as far as these kind of dips, they're pretty good. They're not good for straight bar dips because they don't have that stability. You can't go under them and do anything creative with a dip bar, but you can do regular dips with them. So this is pretty good for regular dips. If you want to do more, I'd make about 1.5 inches and do a crossbar. Next thing are these parralettes or something like that. This is 1.5 inches PVC. They're not even glued up. They're just locked in really well. When I first made them, I had a longer vertical piece. I would definitely recommend a shorter vertical piece. No more than 10 inches, maybe less. This is probably less than that. Because basically, you know, you're putting a lot of weight on them. And these are another really good exercise tool, but you don't want to be upside down and fall on your head. You don't want these things to break. So definitely 1.5 inches and pretty inexpensive. All it is a 90, a T, and you want to put caps on it just to make the T balance. And that's it. So these are pretty easy to make. 90s and T's for both of those things. The next thing is a pull-up bar. Now, we got a trampoline from some neighbors. I put it together for my son for his birthday, and the first person to jump on it fell right through the trampoline because it was used and it had been in the sun. But since then, I've made him monkey bars out of the pieces. I've made a dome out of some of the pieces. I've made all kinds of things out of these things. But this is a bottom support from a trampoline with a 400-pound rope tied to the rafters. And it's as good a thing as you could ask for. You know, you can do Australian pull-ups, and you can do all kinds of things with a couple of pull-up bars. So that was the price of rope for those pull-up bars, and they're the best pull-up bars I've ever had. Rings are pretty cool, but I just bought these rings from Academy for $30. I'm sure on Amazon you buy them even cheaper. It's basically just a strap with a cam buckle, which you can buy for $7 at Home Depot. But then you got to find a ring, and if you have a ring, that'd be great, but I didn't have a ring, so $30 for 2 straps and 2 rings, not bad. There's another thing called a suspension trainer. And the guy who invented it is the TRX. It's really just rings with better handles. So you can do basically all the exercises you could have done with rings, but now you've got nice handles, so you can do, and if you look up TRX, you'll see he's got hundreds of exercises. They call them suspension trainers because they don't want to use his TRX name. The idea is basically it's rings with handles, and you can do lots of core stuff with your arms. And then you've got a loop here, so you can loop your foot. You can get down on your hands and put your feet in it, and do a lot of core work that way. A lot of people use it to aid in squatting, but that's a TRX, and it's like $200–300 for a TRX. So this is just basically a 3/4 piece of PVC, a little bit wider than my hand, a loop for my foot made out of strapping that ran through that PVC, and I made another loop out of strapping. And this strapping had a hook on the end of it with a circle. I tied it, ran it up to here, then I took a carabiner, I run it through the hole and wrap it around, and there you go. There's your free TRX, or $30 if you count the rings. This is just scraps that I had around the house. I guess if you had to buy it all, it might cost you $10. But anyway, so there you go. You've got a suspension trainer. I guess you can't call it a TRX, but it's a suspension trainer. You've got rings. You've got dip bars. You've got parralettes and pull-up bars. Really, all of this was probably $100. So if you want to make your own home gym and you're a creative person, you've got some desire to build stuff, I highly recommend you do it. I'm Aaron Friend. Thanks for watching.